In this golf video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use your GPS systems in the correct way out on the golf course to help you lower your scores. Whether you've got a budget entry-level GPS system or whether you're up at the premium range with loads of features on your GPS, I'm going to be teaching you how to use them properly to help you lower your scores. In today's video, I'm going to be using the G5, the V5 and the X5 watches from the guys at Shotscope. The G5 is the entry-level GPS. The intermediate, the V5, which has recently replaced the very popular V3 from Shotscope. And then we've got the premium right at the other end, the X5. I'm going to kick things off with the entry level G5, which is very suitable for the golfer that just wants to know a bit of data about the hole, that doesn't play very often and just wants a little bit of help when they're out on the golf course. So the entry level G5 from Shotscope is going to give you front, middle and back, which every GPS is going to give you. Your hole you're on, the par it is, and then it will give you extra things like hazards. On this hole there are no hazards at the 14th at Borrington. There's no bunkers, there's no water, so that isn't going to give me any information. It's going to give me layup yardages. If I want to hit my tee shot 219, it will leave me 200 to the middle of the green. 269 leaves me 150, and then 319, the big dog, is going to leave me 100 yards in. And then a little extra, if there's a dog leg on the hole, it's going to be at 289. Now, I know this hole and there isn't much of a dog leg, so that bit of information doesn't really count on this hole. But that leads me nicely to my first point. Entry level budget GPSs are going to give you basic information, front, middle and back. Now, if I hadn't played this hole before, I wouldn't know what's over the brow of the hill. I can kind of guess that I don't want to go left. There's a wall up there, there's trees up there. Yeah, I can see a tree on the right, but it doesn't look as dangerous. So with your entry level budget GPSs, you're not going to get the full picture of the hole. And you might even have to get an extra device like a rangefinder so you can start zapping extra things as well. Again, if you want to improve and lower your scores. I'm regularly playing new courses that I haven't played before, so I like to know what is happening down the hole. And again, Shotscope have got an app that anyone can download. If you can be bothered, you can go on their app and look at an overview of every hole, and that will give you a bit more information if you've got your budget entry level GPS system. So if I didn't know this hole, I'm going to be literally hitting it in between the gap of these trees and just hoping that there's no danger up there. I know that there's apparently a dog leg at 290, which is going to be about where this drive should go if I hit it well. A little up the left, but not in trouble. Should leave me 150 to 130, depending on the bounces down there, into the pin. Not quite as far down as what I wanted, is into the wind today. That's my excuse anyway. Now, I think this is where whatever level rangefinder or GPS, sorry, that you have really doesn't matter that much. I've got 151 to the front, 163 to the middle and 179 to the back, and I can see the green complex. I know where kind of the danger is. It looks like over the back of the green is dangerous, so I'm probably not going to be using the club that's going to make me get to the back of the green very often. Now, if it was a blind shot into the green was raised up and you couldn't see it, then yeah, you probably need some extra information. But for the golfers that are going to be buying this sort of GPS system, aren't going to be the golfers that are playing regularly, in my opinion. So front, middle and back gives you a yardage, and it can give you a yardage that might help you hit the green more. So we know from Shotscope as well, from the stats, that generally speaking, most people end up short of the green. So if you're someone that does use a GPS and wants to start lowering their scores, think about what club is going to get you on the green the most out of all the options. So you've got, what's that, 27 yard length of green here. You've got 27 yards to hit into. What club is going to give you the maximum possibility of hitting that green? Like if the pin was at the front and you go, oh, 153, add 5, okay, that's 157, then you're putting yourself at danger of not hitting that green as often, because you're going to have a dispersion of short and long, you're going to have a dispersion of left and right. You need your shot pattern to be in the right place to hit the green as much as possible. Now, if you bring that shot pattern shorter and think that the perfect shot is going to be by that pin, all of a sudden those mishits, those short shots are now missing the green. You need your dispersion to be moved around. That's going to give you the most success. And even your entry level GPS is going to help you with that sort of information. 167 is the middle, slightly downhill but slightly into wind, so that's evening itself out. I'm going to take a 7. And I know this sort of advice sounds super obvious, but honestly, the amount of golfers that I play with that don't use this advice of just trying to hit the middle of the green, generally speaking, now there are instances that the greens are absolutely massive and you won't be aiming for the middle of the green, but this one here, for instance, if I hit the middle of the green, I'm not going to have that big a putt. So I'm going for the club that's going to hopefully get me my percentages up of hitting that green in regulation. I'm not being clever by trying to hit the back of the green if the pin's at the back. I'm not being clever if I'm trying to hit the front of the green if that pin's at the front. I've kind of disregarded that pin and I'm trying to find the middle. Slightly skinny. Should be up and on the green though. Oh yes, and this is a great example of what I've talked about there. Let me go and show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards on the green. Now I was aiming for middle of the green up here, so if I'd hit it well, it would have been further up, and then if I had ripped it, it would have been closer to the back. That's what I'm talking about with your dispersion. On this occasion, I'm lucky that that pin is at the front of the green, and I've now only got what's at a 10-footer or so. But a good shot would have probably have been 15 feet, and then if I'd ripped it at the back of the green, 35, 40 feet, yeah, but I'm still putting. And we know, again, from the stats, you want to be on the green, as that's going to lower your scores. So giving yourself the biggest opportunity of hitting the green by using the data that you get on your GPSs is crucial, especially hitting into the greens. Next up, mid-range GPS, the V5 from Shotscope. Now, as I put this watch on, as I'm filming this video, this V5 is pretty much a brand new release from the guys at Shotscope. And what you get with this watch is incredible for the price. You're 100% taking a step up in features. You've got full hole maps. You're able to change the color scheme on the watch if that bothers you. You've got built-in scorecards. You've got a green view and pin placement. And now what I love about the guys at Shotscope is the ability to collect stats. So you get your tags included in the box, which you put in the end of the clubs, and then it's going to start collecting your data to, again, help you lower your scores and improve. You get your basic front, middle and back GPS distances. You get a digital scorecard. You've got your distances to your dog legs again. You've got 36,000 preloaded courses. And if you're into your fitness, you've also got your built-in step counter. So this is where you can really start to use those extra features that you get with sort of the mid-range GPS system like the V5 watch. So again now, if I hadn't played this course before and this was the first time I've played this hole, again, uphill, blind over a hill. I have no idea what's going on up there. But now I can start to use my hazards. So I can see that there's a bunker, but it's 440 yards away. Don't think that's going to bother me. There's a bit of a lake or stream up there that's at 418. I don't think that's going to bother me. I can also now have a look at my full map of my hole, which is super important, especially if you're wanting to lower those scores. I would be using this all the time. And what's really great about this one now is that you can adjust the distance that you hit your drives. So let's say I hit my driver 290, let's say 294 it's gone to. I can now see whereabouts on that hole that I'm going to hit. Am I hitting into a fat part of the fairway? Am I hitting into a narrow bit? If I'm hitting into a narrow bit, do I want to go for it and really send one, or do I want to hit a freewood into the fat part of the fairway? You now have options by having these sorts of features, which is great. It's that little bit of extra information which I didn't have on the last hole with your entry level G5, that's really going to help you understand the hole and help you get your ball into the right places more often. So I would 100% start using this more and more, and I will, because out of all the 3 watches, this is probably my favorite, and I'm going to tell you why when we get to the end on the X5. But this is probably my favorite out of all of them. So let's send the driver up there. I know that I'm hitting into a decent part of the fairway, and I know that I need to hit it in between those 2 sets of trees. Now this second shot is really interesting and perfect for what I'm doing on today's video with the GPS system. Hopefully you can see the flag. I'll put a little pointer above it, and you might be able to see there's a bunker in front of the pin as well, or maybe even 2, and then you've got a big old green over on the left. Have a look at this. If I head onto the whole layout now and start to adjust my watch here, look, or even before I even do that, look at the green. It's a slither where that pin is, and I am bumping it up there. I've got 235 pretty much to the flag, and aiming at the flag would be absolutely crazy. Now I'm going to go over to the green placement as well, and it looks like adjusting it on the tee there, I've pretty much put that where it is. And now when you change that pin placement, it changes the middle yardage. So if I go back, that is now the yardage to the pin, and look how close it is to the back edge of the green. I've got 25 yards worth of green. My pin is 22 yards on, and I don't want to go over the back because I'm going to short side myself. I can't miss left. Again, if I go onto my hazards here, I've got the simple version. Right, I need to get over these bunkers, so I've got to hit it at least 200. But if I go onto the whole layout now, I don't want to miss right. I don't want to miss right and short. Like, the best option is, again, probably aiming for middle of the green and getting my shot pattern to hit around this area at 217, 220. And that's the yardage that I'm going to try and play. It is slightly downwind, probably could chop a forward up there, but I'm going to go with a long iron. So there's your advantage already of going rather than budget entry level, because I'm looking at that green and I'm seeing 1 bunker, whereas my watch is telling me there's 2 there. So already I'm winning by having my watch telling me these extra bits of information. It's telling me that I can't go for that pin. That's ridiculous. I've got to go for middle of the green. This is a par 5 as well, and try and again get my green in regulation stat up to help me lower these scores. Another skinny, horrible shot. Try and strike a golf ball, Matt, but that is on the green. Oh, this might have just gone a bit long. It ran a lot because that hurt my hands just a little. It's run a little bit to the back of the green, but I'll take it. It was a good direction. Strike, oh well, let's try and make birdie. And this is probably the watch that I would go for out of the Shotscope range. Yes, we're going to come to the X5 in a minute, which is a bit more premium, but this does everything that I need it to do, basically. I'm getting all the information about the hole, getting front, middle and back. I can put where the pin is. I can choose where I need to miss on each hole and around the green to make my next shot easier and stop myself short-siding myself, whacking my ball in trouble. Again, stats, you can't be losing golf balls if you want to start lowering your scores, especially if you want to start breaking 80, which so many golfers down that lens watching are trying to do. So stop losing golf balls, people. And short-siding yourself, putting yourself in hazards, bunkers, they're costing you so many shots as well. Keeping away from all this trouble is your #1 goal. And the stats that you get from the V5 are so extensive. You get strokes gained as well, so you can start to understand which part of your game needs the most work rather than guessing. If you're a keen golfer wanting to lower your scores, use these GPSs in the right way and start to use the data that you can now get from them. V5, it's the one for me. The one annoying thing about it is that you have to press the up and down buttons loads to change that pin placement. That is annoying. So now moving into the premium X5, what else are you getting on top of the V5? Well, you're getting a full color touchscreen display. So instead of using all the buttons, touch that screen, move around the device, using its features, using the touch screen, which is really responsive. You got the stylish scratch resistant ceramic bezel, which makes it look real premium, and you can wear this on and off the course like all of them, but I would suggest, or in my opinion, this definitely looks the nicest on your wrist. You get all the other things mentioned in the previous two watches, like the layout points, the dog legs, the 36,000 pre-loaded courses, the tags from the V5 as well, so you can now collect over 100 statistics from your golf to again benchmark against strokes gained and help you lower your scores. What's really interesting though is now you can start to use the shots plotted and course analysis, which allows you to build a strategy for the golf course you play regularly to gain a competitive advantage. So what that means, once you've started to collect a load of data on your watch, you'll be able to do things like this. So it will give you your performance average for each club. So at the moment I've selected my 3-wood, which on average goes 271. And then if I want to know where my playing average of my driver might go, for instance, my playing average on driver is 309, and that's going to tell me where I'm going to hit it on that hole. Rather than guessing your yardages, it's taking all the stats that you start to collect and overlaying them on the hole. The X5 is just going to help you understand your game that little bit more, and maybe when you're in a situation on the golf course where you think, like the last hole for instance, yeah, I'll go for that pin. This is going to tell you exactly what club that you should be using and where to aim it. Now, stats aren't for everybody, but you're hopefully watching this because you want to improve your golf. So I would suggest starting to collect them if you don't already. Entry level, absolutely fine. It's going to give you basic information that you can use and hopefully use the best of your ability. Second, the V5, loads more information. You can start collecting stats and it will start helping you lower your scores because you'll learn about your game. And then the next level, the premium, not only do you have the prettiness of this watch, you've got that extra level of performance that puts it onto this watch as well to help you navigate your way around the course better. So totally up to you. I kind of know what my shot patterns are going to be on from collecting stats, so I know where I need to be aiming to avoid the danger and put my ball into safe places. How experienced a golfer you are depends on what watch you want to get up to. And obviously money as well is a big thing for lots of golfers. And also, if you're a golfer that enjoys using a rangefinder as well as a GPS system, that might change your decision as well. But how you use these, and hopefully I've given you some simple tips here today to help you understand how you should be using your GPSs to the best of your ability to help you lower your scores, so you stop making mistakes and hitting your golf balls into those areas that are going to cost you lots of shots. Let me know in the comments down below, do you use your GPSs in any other different ways? Do you have any little tricks that you use to help you lower your scores? I'd love to know in the comments down below. I don't mind what level GPS you have, just use them to their full potential. If you're entry level or premium or mid-range, they've all got different features. Use them to the best of your ability to start lowering those scores. Thanks all for watching. Hope that helps you gain a bit of information on how I use my GPSs and how you potentially could to lower your scores. Thanks all for watching. See you in the next one.